Let's do some dirty cop stories. It's been a couple days. We'll start with this one right here. We got an update right here. Family sues police city officials after cop fatally shoots a black teen. Yeah. Ohio police sued by family of black teen fatally shot by a cop. Yeah, here we go.
Ohio police sued by the family of a black teen fatally shot by a cop. This is a very sad story.
Really is. Here it is.
I'm taking you to November of 2024. 15-year-old Jasmine Tucker was gunned down by an officer armed with a rifle outside of Miller South School for the Visual and Performing Arts. Authorities say that just after 11 p.m. on November 28th, two officers parked in their patrol unit at East Avenue and Vernon Odom Boulevard heard gunshots. Those officers exited their squad car, started searching the area, and encountered the 15-year-old Mr. Tucker, who was, quote, walking from the area where the shots were heard, end quote. That's according to the Akron Fraternal Order of Police. The officers started running after him, and one fired his long gun, striking Tucker. 1 year later, Jasmine Tucker's family has filed a federal lawsuit against that local police department and the city officials that govern them. A reminder of the details. So police, they released the body cam footage of the shooting, but portions of the video are hard to make out since the camera is obstructed by a view of one officer's rifle. Viewers are unable to see what Tucker was doing before he was shot. The first 30 seconds of the video would show the moment the cop pulled the trigger, also lack audio, so it's difficult to determine the number of shots fired at the 15-year-old. Sound is absent from the beginning of the video because of a feature that excludes audio when officers first activate their cameras. The footage does show multiple officers at the scene, some with their guns raised, and when audio finally filters through, viewers can hear the moments when they start shouting, quote, put your hands out to your side after Tucker was already shot. Several minutes passed before all the officers approached a wounded 15-year-old child named Tucker, who was laying face down on the ground and administered medical aid. Footage shows one cop handcuffed the teen, then unzipped the teen's jacket pocket where he finds a handgun. Tucker was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. During a press conference, the local police chief, Brian Hardy, did not provide the straight answers the community was hoping for, stating he doesn't have all the facts just yet. Hardy said that he doesn't yet know why the officer fired at Tucker, how many times Tucker was shot, or whether officers gave the teen any commands before shots were fired. It's also unclear why it took so long for officers at the scene to render medical aid.
You know, and I just think it's funny here. The thin blue line lovers, the fraud tweets, and especially the police apologist people are gonna make excuses like, "Well, that kid was running from a scene of guns fire. Oh, he was carrying a gun. Well, fool around and find out." And police apologists like, "Oh, those cops are heroes. I like to take him out for lunch taking a bag off the street." It's crazy.
After the shooting, I got more, but I want you to understand the narrative so far. The narrative so far. You have a teen who's running away. You have a cop who decides to shoot, maybe more than one time.
Yeah, shoot first, ask question later. That's what most cops do.
The mayor cannot get straight answers from his own police department. This is not about a kid who may have had a gun in his possession.
Exactly.
This is about a potential murder of a 15-year-old who never posed a threat to the police.
He didn't raise a gun.
Did you have an active threat against you?
No.
If you did not, you committed murder. It's real simple. It's real simple. You don't get to kill people and find a prize later. We don't know if you planted it or not. You don't get to do that, and it doesn't matter if you're not in danger yourself, because that's the law.
Yeah, we know of a history, especially well in this day and age, where cops do like to plant evidence or fabricate evidence or like forego and didn't like to lie in their affidavit reports or testimony.
Oh, you do not get to be judge, jury, and executioner. That is not
Exactly.
democracy. There's more.
That's the thing in America
Almost
you
1 year
call
later,
due process.
the family of Jasmine, they have now filed a lawsuit against the police department, against the city officials that govern them. Almost a year later, after the teen was fatally shot by the police, the federal civil rights lawsuit was filed on Monday. On Tuesday, the family held a press conference telling media the lawsuit is not about damages only, but systemic reform.
Yep.
Quote, this family
Reform,
is here
retrain,
because they refuse to let
proper
Jasmine's
training.
name be another headline in the paper. They're demanding accountability, not only for Jasmine, but protection for the next child that encounters police in this city, said a
Exactly.
family attorney, Robert Gresham. Earlier this month, a Summit County jury issued a no bill in the case, meaning they could not find sufficient evidence to pursue criminal charges against the police officers involved in the 15-year-old's death on Thanksgiving night 2024. Tucker was shot and killed by police officers while they were investigating the sound of gunshots on East Avenue. An autopsy revealed in January that the teen was actually shot 3 times. An investigation revealed that the officers did not activate their body-worn cameras when they first got out of their patrol vehicles, which is required by policy. As I have said before, if you do
Not by
not
policy, it should be
enforce
required by law.
the rule of activating a body cam for a cop, if you don't enforce that rule, your infraction or the infraction is only as strong as the enforcement. So they will continue to operate in a way that voids the policy requirement for having the body cam in the first place. And if you're on the up and up, the body camera frees the cop. It doesn't restrict the cop, it liberates the cop. But if you're not on the up and up, you don't want cameras present while you're shooting 15-year-olds. Tucker was shot and killed by the police. Investigators also said a semi-automatic handgun with an extended magazine was found in Tucker's zipped-up jacket pocket. Fox 8 News previously reported this, quote, the complaint alleges unconstitutional use of force and municipal liability for training and oversight failures, among other claims. The Cochran firm wrote in an email on Monday night. The lawsuit naming the city, naming the mayor, Shamas Malik, and the chief, Brian Harding, and the police officers alleges the city, quote, maintained a training program heavily focused on firearms and tactical operations while offering minimal de-escalation, juvenile encounter, or use of force refresher training, the law firm said. It also claimed that the city has a pattern and practice of deadly force against residents who present no immediate threat to officers. Once again, they are trying to create reform for the police department. That's why the allegation seeks to address the training or lack thereof. The suit seeks a comprehensive reform of the police department's training and supervision tactics. According to a family attorney, the lawsuit calls for change, including mandatory de-escalation and constitutional use of force training for officers, clear restrictions on rifle deployment and foot pursuits, as well as discipline for officers who fail to activate their cameras. This is a credible, reputable, needed, and noble lawsuit. This is the kind of lawsuit that transforms the training narrative, thus transforming the way police interact with community. Everybody in that community should stand behind this lawsuit, even if you disagree with who's at fault. Even if you agree with the cops 9 times out of 10 or 10 out of 10, you should stand behind this lawsuit, and here's why. Look at what the lawsuit is seeking. The lawsuit is seeking for better trained police officers to serve you. That's a good day, no matter why that came.
And I think a lot of these, why these lawsuits form are like FOIA requests or like people who wrongfully, arrested or convicted and they try to seek damages. It's not about money or payout. It's about reform, retraining. It's about accountability. It's about transparency. And people like the police apologist people and the blue line lovers, man, no, they go around, they make excuses, time in and time out excuses for dirty cops, saying, "Oh, they're doing God's work. They're heroes. Their jobs are very stressful."
To the desk of the chief. Please support this lawsuit, not only for the sake of this child who is no longer with us,
Yeah.
but for the sake of the community that you still live and operate in and the community that your children will have to live and operate in. All right. Sharing thoughts.
He should be here. Okay, that's number
Yeah.
one. Prayers to this family. The other thing is, this is so easy to support. You're right. Do you know that when you go to the bank and you make even the simplest transaction, you can't go back and say, "Oh, you shorted me. You said $5 and you only gave me 4." Do you know why that is? Because every employee is under surveillance to protect the bank
That's right.
and I guess the customer. It's that simple. They put your money, if it's a large transaction, in that machine, it counts it right in front of you. And even if you didn't see it, even if you...
It's gonna make a point. I'll make a quick one right there. That happened to me and my girlfriend. I think it was back in July. She was drawing some money out, and I think she drew like $100 out of her bank, and only gave me 80. It took her, I think, at least 2 months because it was on footage like that. They're like, "Hey, you showed him like that," and they're kind of hard. Well, they finally it took 2 months, so then they recredited her $20 in her bank account. But she had to go through a lot of loopholes to tell them, like, "Hey, I only got $80. You should give me. I asked for 100."
You looked away. They got it, baby. The footage lives.
Yeah.
The bank's not going to be shorted. Trust me, they're going to get their money. Protecting life? This is... Why can't cops be under surveillance, but the bank teller can? How come McDonald's? You go through the drive-thru at McDonald's, or you work the cashier at McDonald's, guess what? Smile, you're on camera.
Exactly.
But the cops carrying weapons and stuff and can order you about, you're not automatically on camera. You get to turn yours on and off if you got one at all. Miss me with all.
Yeah. And what's up with it? People always talk about, "Oh, it's a good thing cops got to qualify me." What about us? What about the rest of the people? Hey, I'm retarded to qualify me? I should be having qualified immunity if I accidentally screw up in my warehouse, huh? Hey, the bus driver should get qualified immunity if he maybe, has a bad day or wrecks the bus. Or, yeah, what about a truck driver? Maybe he should get qualified immunity if he jackknives his semi-load. Jesus. I mean, what's good for what's good for the goose should be good for the gander, right? Yeah. Other words, what I'm truly trying to say is we need to abolish qualified immunity. Should make it fair for everybody. It's like you go to work, you do the same job area, you get paid the same. Dude, Jesus.
This is so ignorant.
I mean, cops think they get so
He
special.
should be here. Another child should be here.
Yeah, and remember, all of the evidence that would have been present. If he fired at the cops, where's the gunpowder residue in his hands?
Yeah.
If he fired
or they
at the
could check the
cops,
clip to see
where
if
are the
there's any
empty
bullets
shells located
missing.
near
If
the
it's
body?
fired the old-fashioned way.
If he drew down on the cops, why did they have to unzip his heavy coat in order to find the weapon? Potentially, he fired a gun in the air. Potentially. That is not an offense that leads to death. And definitely not an offense that would justify shooting a child.
Well, I remember, was it New Year's when we had last year? I remember Mass was on panel. He fired his gun. I don't know if it was in the air. I think he shot his gun on the ground. People were like, "Dude, man, when the cops show up," and he's like, "It's New Year's Eve, bro. Chill." And I didn't think nothing big of it, but people were saying like, "Hey, what if they show up?" Yeah.
Because they are running away while you are investigating a random shooting that you have not seen. So granted, This is.
I mean, come on. I mean, I shot a gun in the air twice at a golf course like that, and guess what happened? It cost me a weekend in county jail, $350. But you know what? That's what it was those young dumb moments with a buddy of mine. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, back to this.
It's one of the most unfortunate things
Yeah.
that.
But
we could ever
I'm
cover
still here
with these
today.
people.
That poor kid he probably didn't even fire a gun. He's dead.
They have been
That's what I'm trying to
deemed
make
no
sense.
deal worthy. They don't get indicted. They don't get indicted. Why? Because the prosecutor probably really didn't want them indicted. That's
No,
probably
and
why.
plus they're qualifying
Okay.
music going to back them up.
But here's what's clear. While
They
the
can
mayor
do
said they
whatever
can't
they
get to
want.
the bottom of it, can't get to the bottom of it, it's your police department, sir. What you mean you can't get to the bottom of it? You can't get an answer? Well, somebody needs to be fired. Because that's why you have a chief of police, in order to get the answers that are required. You are the elected official accountable to the community at large. I give a lot of respect to this family for
Yeah.
doing what needed to be done and not allowing this young 15-year-old to be another headline, as they said, but making sure that it creates lasting reform to protect not only themselves and that community, but everybody else who lives there.
Yeah, absurd like that. Yeah, and cops can just do whatever they want like that because they got qualifying immunity like that. Yeah, and the thing about most cops, they get what? Suspended, reprimanded, and they still get paid vacation. You know what today is? Today is Tuesday. You know what that means, kid? It's happy for the cops day 2 times a day. Fuck the police. Okay, with that said, I'm out here, man. Peace out.